Hello, this is Joshua Anambe. I want to share a few ideas with you. These ideas have helped raise the level of my consciousness because I let them. If you let them, they will do same for you. But you must first choose what you want them to do for you. I want to thank many of my friends and their friends who listened to my previous recordings and gave me feedback on how they were inspired by them. Some offered suggestions on how to improve, and I am grateful. As usual, this message is not for entertainment, and as such, if you are an entertainment-driven person, this message isn't for you. It is for motivation, education, inspiration, and personal development. Now relax and gently listen to this message entitled The Meaning of Life. To quote Viktor E. Frankl, a human being is one thing among other things. It's not one thing among other things. Things determine each other, but man is ultimately self-determining. What he becomes within the limits of endowment and environment he has made out of himself. The meaning of a person's life is unique and specific in that it must and can only be fulfilled by that person alone. Only then does it achieve a significance which will satisfy the person's own will to meaning. Each person is questioned by life, and he or she can only answer to life by answering for his or her own life. And to life, he or she can only respond by being responsible. At any moment, we must all decide for ourselves, for better or for worse, what will be the monument of our existence here on earth. And in the words of King Salem in the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, to realize one's destiny is a person's only real obligation. I want to caution you, in the words of Viktor Frankl, that to be sure, man's search for meaning may arouse inner tension rather than inner equilibrium. But when that happens, realize that you have attained a sign that is valuable in the pursuit of the meaning of life. In my two previous recordings, I talked a lot about discovering our divine identity and knowing that our lives have meaning. Here again, I have talked about it. If you haven't listened to the previous ones, please do make time for them. You would be glad you did. They will help prepare you for what I am talking about here. Please listen carefully. There are three ways, according to Viktor Frankl, to discovering the meaning of life. Viktor E. Frankl, a survivor of Auschwitz concentration camp, was a psychotherapist and logotherapist. And in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he gave us these three ways to discovering the meaning of life. In summary, the meaning of life can be discovered 1. By creating a work or doing a deed. 2. By experiencing something or encountering someone. And 3. By the attitude we take towards unavoidable suffering. Now let's see how we can discover the meaning of life by doing a deed or creating a work. The other two ways will be explored in subsequent recordings. Everyone has his specific vocation or mission in life to carry out a concrete assignment which demands fulfillment. Deepak Chopra, the author of the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, said that in every seed is the promise of thousands of forests. but the seed must not be hoarded. It must give its intelligence to the fertile ground. So too is every human being filled with infinite potentialities to bring them to the fore for the betterment of this universe. If a viable seed is placed in the wrong place apart from the right ground, it is not expected to produce. If it is placed in the ground and not attended to, it will not produce to its maximum. Likewise, is the meaning of one's life determined. If we are in search of sunrise and we move towards the west, no matter how hard and we try and how long we journey, we can only be sure to experience one thing only, and that is what sunset. To find meaning in life through work, we must then be doing what deep down our hearts we are called by life to do. The alchemist was right to say, wherever your heart is, that is where you will find your treasure. The challenge to finding the meaning of life through work in this generation is enormous. We live in an era, as in the words of Stephen Covey, inundated by human doings instead of human beings. We have a lot of people suffering from what Viktor Frankl called existential vacuum, the emptiness or meaninglessness of existence. Some people don't even know what they want to do with their lives. They either wish to do what other people do, or they do what others wish them to do. Permit me to say, but there is truth in it, that we have a good percentage of our human populace who are leading irresponsibly responsible lives. In the face of the world around them, they are seen as responsible, but heaven knows and they themselves know that deep down within their hearts, they are not responsible. They are not doing that which they should be doing with their lives, and as such, they are not fulfilled. They are not happy within. Barry Stevens puts it succinctly in Carl Rogers' book, Person to Person, when she said that, when I do and say what everyone does and says, then no one calls me irresponsible, but at that time, I am. If you were not listening to me and were also among the people who live their lives merely by conforming to what everyone is doing and saying, while you know in your own heart and conscience that you should be different in some way, I would have said you are irresponsible. But as it is, I won't. I have no authority to tell you how you must live your life. Neither does anyone on earth the power to do so. You and you alone can decide for yourself what to do with your life. But one thing is certain, we are all accountable to life. Stephen Covey draws our attention to life by saying, there is no way we can escape accountability. We do make a difference one way or the other. We are responsible for the impact of our lives. Whatever we do with whatever we have, our talents, our money, our possessions, and even our time, will leave behind us a legacy for those who will follow. We can exercise our unique human endowments and choose the kind of stewards we want to be. Jesus Christ, the carpenter's son and the greatest teacher of all, calls our attention to the fulfillment of our unique assignments instead of striving for trivialities when he said, of what benefit is it to man if he should gain the whole world and lose his own soul? There is abundance in store for us when we strive to do that which we are predestined to do with our lives. The people who have made significant contributions to humanity and the whole world are or were people who pursued their dreams, and dreams are given to us by God. I want to share with you an excerpt from the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, which will whet your appetite to pursue your own dreams. When I have been truly searching for my treasure, every day has been luminous, because I have known that every hour was a part of the dream that I would find it. When I have been truly searching for my treasure, I have discovered things along the way that I never would have seen had I not had the courage to try things that seemed impossible for a shepherd to achieve. It is true that life is really generous to those who pursue their dreams. And for listening through to the end, I have a bonus for you. I wish you well in life. I wish you to have a meaningful and responsible life. I hope that before you and I leave this world, the world will be happy and glad that we ever lived, and that will be the monument of our existence. Before I forget, there is one last thing I would like to tell you, for doing the listening and for sharing this message with others, and that is to say thank you.